स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। We saw yesterday how every object of this world, every being in this world is a manifestation of the divine and is worthy of worship, and through that very worship we are going to reach the goal of human life, of transcending nature and going beyond. The nature internal and the nature external. All have to transcend the nature with which we are bound to manifest the inner divinity. This is the whole of religion, as Swamiji says, to transcend the nature and go beyond. So, M's wordings that one should not worship clay. Master sharply, that is the one hobby of you Calcutta people, giving lectures and bringing light to others. Nobody ever stops to consider how to get light, the light for himself. Who are you to teach others? Again, yesterday we saw a drowning person cannot drown, cannot save the other who is drowning. A blind cannot lead the another who is blind. Like that, one who is on the shore, one who has transcended the limitations and gone beyond, he can guide, he can teach, he can, and with authority to teach, a person needs not only realization but the orders from the divine. Teach mankind, like Sri Ramakrishna writing and giving to Vinayakanandaji. Naren will teach others. He refuses to do. No, I will not do. Thakur says, your bones will do. Like that, because he is brought here for that purpose and he has to accomplish for what he has been brought. So, he who is the Lord of the universe will teach everyone. He alone teaches us, who has created this universe, who has made the sun and moon, men and beasts, and all other beings, who has provided means of their sustenance, who has given children parents and endowed them with love to bring them up. The Lord has done so many things. Will He not show people the way to worship Him? If they need teaching, then He will be the teacher. He is our inner guide. From unknown times of the past, eons and eras past, and we see there is no lack of knowledge, nor the enlightened people. The Lord, who is the source of this universe, constantly makes the supreme knowledge flow. He makes thousands of people to cross over the ocean of samsara. When we come, sometime this universe live for a while and go away. In ancient times, who taught the mankind the way to God. Today who is teaching and who will be teaching in future. We come and go, we are just visitors to this world. God eternally lives. He is giving all the knowledge is coming from that source, the God. And the more matured a person becomes, more matured a Jivan Mukta, realized soul becomes, he becomes more and more silent. Oh, God is the teacher. We have nothing to give or nothing to take. That understanding. And till then, the mother keeps the ego in them, realized souls, Jivan Muktas, to teach mankind. One day, that same mother will take away that ego of knowledge, ego of a teacher, to give we see in Swami Vivekananda's life, as his end is nearing, he writes a letter, perhaps to MacLeod. My work is done. Teaching and things tastes me no more. I was drifting in the will of Divine Mother, and now I have packed up my things and ready to depart from this world. So Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Ramakrishna, great teachers, Vallabhacharya, there is a end when they become silent. We saw Purushottanandaji Maharaj, how he was slowly, as the end is nearing, is withdrawing from all things. He said, singer, Swami. The singing in front of Thakur, he begins as a brahmachari with harmonium, tabla and all. And finally, wherever he goes, he charms the people with that singing the names and glories of God, awakens thousands of people and makes them walk along the path to God. And a day came in his life that he silently started becoming silent, unperceived, imperceived by others. So he stopped while singing tabla, without tabla, then without tala also, then finally without a harmonium also. Alone he would sit in front of Sri Ramakrishna in the temple and would go on singing alone. And perhaps when devotees are not there, he and God alone. So the teaching in the life of a great soul, an illumined soul also, comes to an end. As soon as the mother, Divine Mother, removes that ego, so God, the Divine Mother, the God is giving the knowledge to everyone, whenever, from wherever, some source or the other. God doesn't need any means or any people, any agent to work for him. He can give knowledge intuitively to anybody. And he alone can give. Because the vasana kshaya is not possible even by the person's, the sadhaka's own guru. He can help, he can show the path, he can direct, but he cannot destroy the vasanas, nor he can destroy karma. Nobody has the authority or power to destroy somebody's karma. Maximum he can take upon himself a little of the karma of the disciple which comes in the path to God. Vasanas and karmas. Karmas have to be worked out till enlightenment, and vasanas have to be destroyed by individual struggle, viveka, vairagya, and all to holding on to that. Slowly he has to evolve. Suppose there is an error in worshipping the clay image. Does not God know that through it He alone is being invoked? He will be pleased with that very worship. Why should you get headache over it? You had better try for knowledge and devotion to yourself. This is an important instruction, like Krishna giving instructions in Bhagavad Gita. When Krishna gives instruction in Bhagavad Gita, it's a direct instruction. One is his narrations of the reality, another is his promises to his devotees. The third thing is this one. Better try for your knowledge and devotion. Struggle for your own enlightenment. A person is his own enemy or his own friend. Uddared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva atmana bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmana. So one's own friend or one's own enemy is one's own self. Nobody can help or remove. A person comes to give me sukha dukkha in my life. He is only nimitta. My karma is giving my fruit, that fruit. Karma cannot be destroyed except by jnana. Jnana alone destroys. Bhakti makes it, keeps it away. And when the jnana comes, I am not the doer, ego drops off, the kartritva, bhoktritva drops off, knowledge alone remains. So at that time we see him getting the answer, the reply for his call on God. So God has made arrangement for everyone, like schooling. There is primary school, there is middle school, there is higher school, there is graduation, there is pre-university, post-graduation, various levels of, and each person needs, according to his stage of evolution, his state of existence, his spiritual worth, how he is, in what condition he is. Suppose a person who is totally ignorant of God, there is a path to. Sri Ramakrishna tells even to an atheist, there is a path who doesn't believe in God. Oh God, if at all you are there, reveal yourself to me. So there is God has made arrangements for all jivas. God is all pervading, He is your antaryamin. And when you call, offer or tell anything, He immediately understands. Before you can tell, He already knows what are you going to tell. Because He is indweller and knows your innermost feelings. This time, Yam felt that his ego was completely crushed. He now said to himself, yes, he has spoken the truth. What need is there for me to teach others? Have I known God? Do I really love Him? I have not room enough for myself in the bed, and I am inviting my friend to share it with me. You know that expression in Bengali? নিজেকে শুতে জায়গায় নাই, शिव को डाको or something, call other person. हाँ, शंकर के डाको, নিজের শুতে জায়গায় নাই, শঙ্করকে ডাকো. What a shame, how foolish I am. This is not mathematics or history or literature that one can teach it to others. No, this is the deep mystery of God. What He says appeals to me. Important part is the acceptance. Arjuna, here Sri Ramakrishna, this M, within a few words, he said, yes, karishe vachanam tava. But for Arjuna, Krishna had to tell the whole Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters, to make him say, karishe vachanam tava. So, you see, everyone has to come one day or other to the reality. Each has to face the reality. We may hide, we may cover the wound. It is like a wound which we have covered with beautiful cloth, but it rots within. Reality has to be accepted and it has to be eradicated. The ignorance has to be eradicated. So here you see the acceptance has come. Yes, what he says appeals to me. There was resistance, there was counter-argument. This is the usual thing what you see, even in case of a saint. When he tells something to other, there will be first opposition, resistance, then there will be indifference. Bolne do. First there is opposition. Whomever you serve, they will give you 2 kicks. Whomever you teach, they will give you 2 words in return and go. It is called Guruvige Tirumantra. Give it back to him. And acceptance comes much later when the grace of God falls on that jiva. Otherwise acceptance doesn't come. Here it is not the acceptance of M. It is grace of Sri Ramakrishna. It is making him accept what has been taught. See, we think he has reasoned out, M has reasoned out, oh, it appeals to me, I will follow. No. A jiva cannot, it is impossible to change the nature of any person. Impossible. Unless the grace of God descends and changes the personality. Almost all people I have seen, even in the monasteries, so many brahmacharis come, so many sadhus are there. Whatever swabhava they come with, it is maintained, and it has to be, divine grace alone has to change that. Here you see, it is not because of his viveka, it is not because of his right understanding, but it is only because of the grace of Guru. This was M's first argument with the master, and happily his last. This is one more expression. This writing is his own. It is not somebody reporting. It is his autobiography. M's. He is telling about himself. This was M's, means his own. First argument with the master, and happily the last. He has to do the work of master now. Happily the last. Master, you are talking of worshipping the clay image. Even if the image is made of clay, there is need for that sort of worship. God Himself has provided different forms of worship. He who is the Lord of the universe has arranged all these forms to suit different men in different stages of knowledge. Different stages of knowledge means different stages of evolution. What knowledge he has got? According to it, God has made arrangements for all sadhakas. The mother cooks different dishes to suit the stomachs of her different children. Suppose she has 5 children. If there is a fish to cook, she prepares various dishes from it: pilau, pickled fish, fried fish, and so on, to suit their different tastes and powers of digestion. See, whatever stage we are, whatever samskaras we have developed, accordingly God has made the arrangements for them. Each soul, each person has his own path. Though we differentiate yoga into Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga and Raj Yoga and all this, it is all just for understanding. It is combination of all yogas. A person may be having 1% Karma Yoga, 10% of Jnana Yoga, 90% of some other yoga. According to his own nature, all this gets mixed up. With that, the sadhana, they go ahead. That is what it suits. Do you understand me? Humbly. Till now that humility was not there. Humbly. Yes, sir. How, sir, may we fix our minds on God? Here comes the real search for the reality. How can you fix? This is the first problem that sadhakas face. I am not able to fix my mind on God. When this question appears, why am I not able to have unbroken thought of God? Why things are interfering? One is the old vasanas. One is the power of nature as tamas. Tamas is inertia. We have rajas, tamas and sattva. The predominance of tamas will be there because this universe is tamo pradhana. So in jivas also you see tamas engulfing the jiva. It does, oh, let me post, tomorrow if I do it is sufficient. A day will come, I will finish all my duties of life and then I will begin, give myself totally one day to God. That day will never come in his life. So this we see tamas. Tamas comes as alasya and then nidra Pramada. Important, these three. Wrong understanding. We think we are wise, but we are otherwise. So that happens. That is pramada. Anyatha jnana is called pramada. So these are the manifestations of tamas. Then ego and mamakara, mine and I, for me. These are all manifestations of tamas. So we find that we are not able to change ourselves. We are not able to keep our mind on God constantly. Not able to fix at all. If it gets fixed and falls next moment down is all right. It doesn't get fixed in God at all. Because of various things, we have filled ourselves with this world. Inside is the world, outside is the world. There is no place for God. If we close our eyes, we see there is world within. If you open your eyes, there is world outside. When the inner world, the world we are carrying within, gets displaced by God, then mind sits constantly on God with open eyes, getting involved in the external activities. When you are doing all the activities of life, you will see that you have the thought of God. Mind is getting fixed by itself on God. Otherwise it is not possible. Now he comes to the main point. May we fix our minds on God? How? Sir, may we fix our minds on God? Master, in last a few classes before we saw in what state of mind he was there. Like Arjuna, his state of mind. So he was internally, great suffering was there, constantly thinking of the problems of life. Now, because of the constant, from early days of his life, he gets married before he finishes his graduation. And then the problems start coming. And where to think of God when there is problems overpowering a person's mind? He is not sthita prajna that he can overlook all the things of the world and be immersed in God. So all this has habitually and out of necessity, he had to keep his mind on the world, to the extent that he was to end his life. Now, to keep the mind on God, how difficult it is. But he understands. This understanding that I am not able to keep my mind on God, I am not able to feel the living presence of God, all this comes little later. But at least I am not able to fix the mind on God. Fixing the mind on God means I don't think, no other thought interferes, no other feelings disturb me, no external things draw my attention. Even bodily problems, I am not able to sit for 1 hour, I have sat, the body legs are paining, it will not draw your attention because you have fixed your mind on God. Fixing your mind on God. Master, Repeat God's name and sing His glories, and keep holy company, and now and then visit God's devotees and holy men. The mind cannot dwell on God if it is immersed day and night in worldliness, in worldly duties and responsibilities. It is most necessary to go into solitude now and then and think of God. To fix the mind on God is very difficult in the beginning unless one practices meditation in solitude. When a tree is young, it should be fenced all around, otherwise it may be destroyed by cattle. We will see tomorrow. Om Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhrutavigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namah.